Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you and talk about how we can prevent Microsoft Store application on Windows 10 and 11 devices. So it's applicable on both of those devices. And what are the reasons or what are the use cases why we wanted to prevent and stop so that users should not be able to open it and just maybe try to install any of the application, right? So, all right. Since it was stopped. All right, so it includes the different applications. Applications are those are available as well as published by the different vendors. Those are partnered with Microsoft, and they have developed all those applications, and those applications are available for all the customers, all the users, basically, right? Now, we as an organization or any organization who have or who are managing their devices and managing applications and user access levels on different applications, right? Whether we should allow them to install a particular application, we should prevent them or what, right? And companies are something that they don't want to give the privilege, highly or full privilege to the users to do any unwanted things. Probably they have the business into the finance or banking sector, and they just wanted to prevent people to install any of those applications because we really don't know which application is going to get what permissions and whether people can share any confidential or business data, right? And we cannot track each and every action, but definitely we have so many controls that can be put in place, and then those can prevent users and people to not to install such applications, not to try to access any of those applications, and people might end up uploading and sharing any business data or customer and clients data, right? And that is something which is really going to impact the business overall, and it's going to do all lot of different activities like breaking trust relationship between clients and projects and everything together, right? And that is why there are so many things to block and manage and maintain as an organization that can be done there, right? So there are different ways I'm going to talk about how we can prevent that one, right? So basically for Intune, there are two ways, including one of the CSP policy that we can configure. And then another way is by creating administrative template policy, which is a pretty straightforward as well. And there's another way by using GPO, group policy object, right? So I'm going to show you these two ways, which is with the Intune and Intune configuration policy, which is a part of settings catalogs. And the second is a CSP as well, right? So this is going to help us to prevent, and then we can make sure we are blocking the right set of applications, right? And then it's going to simply stop or prevent users to install that applications, right? So that's the use case to prevent and block it then and there. And as soon as user tries to open it, it is not going to allow them to open it, and it's going to show a message something like Microsoft Store is blocked and check with your system administrator or IT, right? So that's going to be the message for end users. And if they need any application, they should definitely reach out to the IT team and respective team so that they can ask for the right set of questions, understand what's the requirement, and get to know what they need actually to perform their job. Okay? If they need any application, that's a part of business. If they have a licensed copy, if they are legally bind to use that application, and if they have right set of permissions and everything together, definitely they can go ahead and provide access. But if not, then definitely business is not going to allow because of they have compliance requirements, they have security policies, and they have to comply each and every of those so that they are in compliant with the business as well as their business processes and clients and data and everything together. Otherwise, that's going to be something that company and business don't want to do, and they are not going to do because of business requirements, right? So I'm going to share my screen and show you how we can go ahead and to create those policies, right? And that's going to be pretty straightforward from Intune portal. And then it should be good to go. All right, let me share my screen here and I'll just show you how we can do that, right? Let me just copy this one. All right, let me share my screen here. All right, so I'm on Intune portal. You can see that, right? And from here, we can simply directly go ahead and create a policy, right? So this policy is going to allow us to prevent that application, right? So there are two ways. One is with by creating and using administrative templates, and from there we can simply find Windows component and find a store, right? So let's say Windows 10 and later, and I'll just go with the templates. So from here we have administrative templates we can see over here. Just a minute. Yeah, it's retired now, but you can see. And under the custom one, we can just go ahead and find it over there as well. So I'll just give it a name, something like prevent my store app, right? So that's what we wanted to do. And once we are good here, we can simply add OMA URI, right? So this is going to be OMA URI to add, and then we can go ahead and create it from here, right? So this is the direct way by using OMA URI. I have the OMA URI for this, which is this one. You can see, right? And we need to set this one. And basis on that, we should be able to do it, right? So let's say copy this URI. And it's a string. And then this is the value that we need to put in place. So we are going to put this value there to make sure we are going to take actions, right? And prevent MS store app, right? So once it is done, we should be good here to add that record and next, and then next, and we should be good to either assign it to all devices. And then if we have any applicable rules, we can just add it. If no, we should be good to go. And under the review and create, we should simply go ahead and create one, right? So this policy is going to be created pretty straightforward. Now it might take a bit of time to just refresh, and here it is. You can see that the policy is created and successfully showing up. And as soon as we assign it, it might take to deliver that policy to the devices, right? So I have a virtual machine over here, which is Windows 11, right? And I have Windows 10 as well, but it needs a restart, I believe. So we can do that. So we'll keep that active meantime. And the another way that I'm going to show you using the settings catalog as well, right? So let's go ahead and create again Windows 10, and later the settings catalog, then click on create button, right? So once we are here, we would come back here where I will give it a name, MS Store app for Windows. So I'll give it a bit of different name so that we are already created with this name, and then we can add a setting, right? So from here, we can add another setting, which I said, right, which is Windows components, right? And from there, we would have store. So earlier, all the administrative templates used to be separately, but now all those are part of setting catalog, and from there we can find those here. So instead of that, I will just search for store because it's a big list and that might take time to list out, right? So we have to find it here. All right, so here's that. And you can see that we have a bunch of options over here for the store, right? Which says turn off the store application, turn off the offer to update to the latest version of Windows users, then turn off the offer to update to the latest version on Windows context, right? Turn off the store application on user. So we wanted to do it on both sides, on user context as well as device context. And these are the two options where we need to set it off, right? So I have selected those one. Now we can see that those are showing up here, right? So if we set it to enabled, right? So what it does, it's going to give us a bit details here, which says denies or allows access to the store applications. If you enable the setting, access to the store application is denied, right? And access to store is required for installing any app updates. If you disable or don't configure settings, access to the store app is allowed, right? So we need to disable it. That means we have to enable it, right? So here the configuration is opposite, right? If you understand it, if we set it to enable, that means application is going to be disabled. If we set it to disable, it's going to be enabled and it's going to allow devices and users to perform all those activities, right? So these are the two ways by using settings catalog with the customs CSPs, and the second is CSP catalog, not CSP, but the setting catalog with administrative templates. So these are the administrative template configurations that we can see. And then by using those, we can simply go ahead and configure right set of policies as per our needs, right? And once we are good here, just click next and add any scope tags if we have any. If no, then we should be good here. And add all those devices wherever we wanted to target and apply. And then should be good here. Once we are good, just click next and we can see the summary of the policy. And once you're good, just go ahead and create it. So it's going to create a policy, and that policy is going to be deployed across the devices. Now, to deploy a policy, definitely it's going to take a bit of time. And to speed it up, I'll just go to devices here, and I'll just synchronize both of those devices from Intune forcefully so that it is going to, or it should pick up the policy ASAP, right? Oh, I think Windows 10 has something to, and that's why it is not working as expected. I'll just open a CMD here on this Windows 11 device. So that it is going to look for an policy updates from Intune side, and as soon as it gets the policy, then it should definitely pick up. Okay, I think this is just taking time to load. Let me refresh it. All right, so let's see. Let's just give it a minute or two to load it. All right, so here we are on the devices, and you can see this is a Windows 11 device, which is up and running now. And it is, I believe it is not yet synchronized with the Intune. I'll just force sync it from here. Yeah, it has synced before 3 minutes. You can see this is the date and time over here. So probably it should deliver the policy as soon as possible. And also I'm going to run the GP update commandlet here. Slash force, because we wanted to fasten this uh, GP update slash force. So this should pick up the policy, and even if we run this command, it might take few minutes, up to 1 to 3 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes to just catch up the policy and deliver it on the device, right? And then we should be able to see what's happening, what's changing, and the change is being deployed as expected or not, right? And there is one thing to know and understand is that there could be a policy conflict as well, because I have targeted both of those policies on all devices, right? So what I will do is I will just go back and I will unassign one of the policy, because both of the policies are targeting all devices. So if the policy settings is same and configured to do the same activity, that means it's going to do similar activities. So what I will do is I'll just unassign from this policy. And so there's the group where we have assigned to all devices, and let this another policy to enforce the setting, and let it this one, let it be assigned and delivered to the devices. The policy is going to enforce, and as I said, it is going to take a bit of time to synchronize between client and server, right? So Intune being server and this Windows 11 is being Windows client, right? So it has to reach to the server to get policies and everything, and whatever the new configuration it has, right? So that's going to happen. That's going to take a bit of time to synchronize. So let's think it again. But before that, I would show you, I had opened Microsoft Store application on this Windows devices. You can see this is the Windows device, right? And in this device, I have opened up this application. Now let's close it up. I'll simply reopen it again. Now we can see if the policy is successfully applied or not. Seems the policy is not yet applied because it is successfully being opened, or it's opening, right? So there's no policy hits at all, right? So as soon as it hits the policy, it's going to show us that this application is not available, right? And or it's going to show that this application is being blocked by your system admin or IT, right? So that way we can check and confirm that the setting and policy has been applied successfully and we have blocked it, right? So probably it's going to take a bit of time, and if we keep waiting, then it's going to make video longer, and I don't want to keep you waiting for this one. But definitely, this is the right way to do this, right? And this way we can definitely configure and enforce all those kind of policies on the devices. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you, and how you can do it for your devices across the organization for different teams, departments, or for whole organization if you wanted to, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends and people around you so that they can also know and learn. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because that's going to give you new videos every time so that you can learn more about it and keep updated for the new topics and keep learning for new things happening around, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.